What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reacting to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
And I am a woman that is woman enough to apologize to him when I'm wrong. So when he is wrong, how are we to handle that though? You know, even if he does apologize, I'm finding it hard for me to kind of really come back from it though. Like, really?
Okay. All right. So I see what happened. I'll replay that. I'll upload the first part for the audience because it's popping off. Okay. So first, you said you're in a relationship,
Hmm.
and how long have you been in a relationship?
We've been in a relationship for a little over a year.
And he did something,
Hmm.
and what? And he apologized.
He did apologize after the fact, but during the conversation, during the argument,
Okay.
it got a bit heated. I said a few things. I got a little bit out of character.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. But bottom line, there was a disagreement.
yes,
He apologized,
he
and
apologized.
you're having a hard time getting past it.
Yes.
Well, I gotta ask, ma'am. A little background. Have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
Any children?
I do. I do have a 2-year-old. I started late.
How old are you again?
I'm 42. I got pregnant when I was 39.
Damn. A 2-year-old at this age is crazy. Is crazy. Pregnant at 39. Oh man. Well, you gotta make bottles at 43 years old. I'm just kidding. Well, this is crazy though.
Hold on.
First baby,
Where's my slap
first
pen?
pregnancy.
And are you in the? Is this the child's father you with?
No, it's not. Mm-mm.
Does he want the same relationship outcomes that you want?
The man I'm with now?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Hmm.
Well, ma'am, I
She
just
is.
I just think you need to understand how fortunate you even are that at 40, in your mid 40s, you got a man who's even willing to deal with you and a 2-year old. I'm gonna just come straight down the pipe. You 42, 44, 42, 44,
I'm 42.
42 with a 2-year old. And you had an
Yes.
argument with somebody who ain't your toddler's father.
Yes.
And I'm sure you got a mouth on you.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Ma'am,
I've come a long way,
ma'am,
and
I'm
I
sure you got a
didn't say
mouth on you. Ma'am,
that. Hmm.
you asked for advice, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you got a mouth on you at 42. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
Um, it might be a bit accurate. Hmm.
All right, then. So why would you say don't say that?
Because I think it's offensive.
Your mouth is offensive.
Wait, the truth is offensive now? Hmm? Shaggy? The truth is offensive. Okay.
And I'm working on that.
I
I'm
don't
not
care if you're
totally
working on it. See
agreeing
what I
with
just
you.
showed. What I just showed you, ma'am, is a statement of fact is offensive to you.
Hmm.
Who
It
are
was,
you to
it
be
was,
getting? Oh no, no, no. Who are you to be getting an attitude with anybody with a 2-year old? You're lucky that the man is even going to deal with you. And this is what we need to start telling women. Y'all got a lot of goddamn nerve to have an attitude when you 42 with a toddler and you know you got a mouth and you can't get past it. Well, by the time your child is 18, you'll be 60.
hmm
Why aren't you with the child's father?
um,
That mouth?
no, no. He would much rather be doing other things.
Okay, let's reel it back in. I don't understand why you ladies get so offended at the truth that you know.
Because I don't want to breathe life to it. That's all.
That is
I
bull.
see what you're saying,
That
and
is
I
bull.
truly
That is
agree with you.
that is bullshit. This is part of the problem with modern women. You won't acknowledge your faults. And you guys have come up with this new age BS. Well, I don't want to breathe life into it. I want to bring light, focus, magnify it so you can see it, so you can understand how it affects somebody else. You guys act like if I don't see it or talk about it, it won't go anywhere. He's dealing with it, just like you deal with his stuff, right?
Hmm.
But let's be honest here. He doesn't have a, does he have a kid?
He has two older children.
How much older?
They are a lot older, actually, 20 and 18.
You are out of your French toast mind, man. This man, even the fact that he's dealing with you and a toddler, you should be on your knees thanking God every day.
And who's to say I'm not?
Because
Who's to
you
say
said you
I'm
got a
not?
problem getting past it. And you got a problem getting past it. Let's get into this. You want, did he cheat on you? Or what was the nature of the argument? Just the nature. You don't have to get into the specifics.
The nature of the argument. It was more so, hey, he asked me a question about some things that he wanted me to be really transparent about. And
Okay.
when I began to talk about it, I had some reservations and kind of I held back, and he
Uh,
was upset about that.
was it stuff that he needed to know for his own protection?
Um, I wouldn't say it was to that extent, but I think he felt like I wasn't comfortable enough, and
Okay. So he
to
asked you. He asked you to be transparent about some stuff that you weren't comfortable necessarily revealing.
hmm
And you started talking about it, but you withheld some stuff.
yes,
And he could sense that you were withholding stuff, or you admitted that you withheld stuff.
he sensed it, and then I admitted it.
All right. And then, how did you guys get into an argument?
Because I wouldn't say immediately, but like I said, I sensed that he was upset, and then there was the attitude. Like,
You got an
and
attitude.
that's, I
You
guess it
hold on,
kind of
hold on,
like
hold
took
on.
it
You
over
got an
to me.
attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked you something to be transparent about something.
Mm-hmm.
You said it wasn't necessarily need to know, but he asked you, right? Now, you
Right.
ladies often say you want a man who's honest. And if we flip this script and you asked a man to be honest and he came at you with a halfway story and half truth, and then you sense that he's being halfway truthful, which is deceptive, and you feel some kind of way, and if he attacked you with an attitude, what would we call him?
Why is she smiling and laughing? Because this whole time I'm just sitting here with the most confused look on my face that I've ever had in my life. She's really upset that a man got upset that she lied to him and he could detect the fact that she was lying. So she got mad at that man for being upset that she got caught lying about something. The man just wanted the truth about a situation. He wanted a conversation to happen. He wanted to know the truth, maybe dealing with another ex or maybe dealing with another person. Because those are the type of conversations men are going to want clarity on, right? So he's had that. He wanted that clarity conversation. And then when it came down to it, he figured out she was lying and she's mad because of that. Oh, man.
What we call that man?
What do we call him, Kevin?
What would we call him, ma'am?
A liar, someone who's not being
Ma'am,
trustworthy.
he asked you to be honest with something, and you were deceptive.
I
He's
wasn't being deceptive. I
and
was
that's okay. You were not being. No, see, this
I
is
was
another thing.
the
Okay,
conversation
did you
kind of threw
tell the?
me off.
Did you tell what?
The conversation kind of threw me off. That's where like
Okay, but
I
okay,
wasn't
then did you tell
expecting
him?
it.
Okay, and did you tell him I'm not comfortable sharing this, or did you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, but then
Yes.
you. Okay, hold on, but man, you're in a relationship.
Hmm.
He asked you something. You have the
Hmm.
choice to either disclose or not disclose. But a
Hmm.
partial disclosure is a partial lie. It's a lie of omission.
Okay.
See how slick and loose you guys play with it when you guys are the ones. That's why I was saying in the beginning, y'all can't even apologize. He asked you something that you weren't comfortable with sharing. So you just shared, and he could sense that you weren't being upfront. And he asked you about it, then you admitted it. And then you got an attitude because he could sense that you were lying. And you have a problem getting over this?
I
A
have a
42
problem
year
getting
old
over the
woman with
way
a
that
2 year
he
old.
handled it.
You, this is why y'all are nuts.
No.
Ma'am, I need you to listen. You are lucky that you have a man. I don't know if y'all really understand this. You got a 2 year old. Your baby daddy don't want to deal with you.
You don't say that. Mm-mm. I'm not gonna let you do me like that because I know I'm a good person and I know that there's some
Wait a
things that I
French
need to
toast
work
minute,
on.
ma'am.
That's
Don't
why
tell me
I
what not.
listen to
Don't you do
you,
that. No, no, no,
Kevin.
no, no. Hell
I get
no,
a
hell
lot of
no, no. Don't
advice
talk.
from
No, hell no,
you.
hell no. Oh, I'm not your man. I'm not gonna let me do you like what? You're the one that laid up and had a baby with a dude that didn't want to be with you. Don't get mad at me because I acknowledge it. Your old ass. I mean, seriously, y'all, and you want, and I'm mirroring back what you give, ma'am. You're not gonna let me do what? Acknowledge the fact that you had a baby at 40 with a guy who didn't want to marry you. Then why'd you have his baby?
Because I wanted to.
Right, but does he want to be with you?
That's neither here nor there
No,
now
ma'am,
because
you
she's
said you're not
here
going
and
to
she's
let me do
mine.
anything. You said you're not going to let me do something. Does your child's father want to be with you?
And I don't want to be with him.
That's not
It's
what I asked.
mutual.
That's not what I
It's
asked.
mutual.
See, that's my point. See, people, this is modern women. And this is the woman who's involved with somebody who she lied to when he sensed that she was lying and she got an attitude. This all started when I said she had a mouth on her. And remember, this is a 42-year-old woman with a
You
2-year-old.
using the word lie, and that's
Lie,
not what
lie,
it
lie,
was.
liar, deception, intent to deceive,
That's
defraud.
not what it
That's what you did when you don't tell the whole truth. You should have just said, I won't talk about it. And look at this. This smug ass, like, now remember, she mad at him. She can't get past it. Bro, if you see this, let her be with her baby. You don't need this. You don't need a woman who thinks she's doing you a favor by giving you half a truth. When y'all always talk about y'all want a man to be honest, but she don't want to breathe life into it. I don't want to breathe life into it. Why am I being so direct? Because these are the women that the younger women look at. And why do you think we're jacked up? These women are my contemporaries. And ma'am, you asked. And I'm just sitting here wondering why you can't even admit what you said as if it's going to change anything. You're just talking to yourself. Now you're going to
I
say,
told
hold
him
on,
that I
man.
did not want to talk about it at the
Okay, man,
time.
but I want to go back to the point of you not going to let me do something. I
Right,
said,
because
I
Kevin,
said,
you're putting words in
oh,
my
you're not
mouth
gonna
and
overtalk
you're
me.
trying to
I will,
change up
I
everything.
will
And
end
I
up
was
having my
just,
own dang. This is why you can't make you can't make this up. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right, defiant. This is somebody's mama. She ain't learned shit at 42. Chronologically, 42. Still bopping around here like a 20-something-year-old. Who has a child out of wedlock with a man who don't want to marry you? And I don't want to marry him either. And I'm going to stand on what I said. You're lucky that somebody's even willing to deal with you. Look at her ass. She just talking. You just talking to us. So anyway, anybody listening to you? Okay, anybody hear you? You've been muted. You were muted a long time ago. Now I want you to understand. What did I start this monologue off saying? Modern ladies, men are tired. Who, whether you like my tone, dislike my tone. This is what men are dealing with. This is what men. This is when you say, "Why are you dating younger women?" These are women that are my age cohort. This is what you want us to deal with? Lying baby mamas with attitudes? Should I go there? I mean, it'd be different if you was a dress size 4. Maybe. Hello? Yes, how old are you?
I am 33.
All right, so what did I get wrong?
You know, I totally agree with everything you say, all of your content. I will challenge this though. I will challenge you to say that perhaps you aren't saying everything because if you do, you'll be demonized for it. And
What do
I'm
you mean?
saying that to say that as a single mother, and I'm a single mother of 2 children, but I feel like we technically have a home court advantage,
I'm not.
meaning
I'm not saying everything. Is that what you're saying?
I believe you're not saying everything because as a single mother, we have a home court advantage,
Is that
meaning that um, we should be learning patience. We should be learning how to cultivate a great household for our children. We already should come equipped with everything that we need. So I feel like we should technically have an advantage
okay?
that
Then why
a
don't?
woman that is single does not, I mean, that is single with
So
no children
so
technically
so
does not have.
I agree. So why don't more women with children have your mindset, or in more have what you're talking about, or even have your mindset?
Feel like, as I've learned, it's more like the behavior will stop when it no longer serves you. And I feel that they will stop that behavior once it no longer serves them. I feel like saying that
Okay.
you're,
Okay. Let me.
go
I
ahead,
like to. I like to keep things tight.
go
Uh
ahead.
you have 2 children.
I do.
Have you been married?
No,
Why aren't you married?
I'm not married because I have not chosen to be married in my.
Here we go again. Here we go, guys. She first started coming into this conversation with the most delusional thing I've ever heard in my life. She's essentially saying, for the people that can't possibly fathom this, let me break it down. And then the ones that get it, you're like, did I just hear what I just heard? Yes. She's saying being a single mother with 2 children is actually an advantage and is better than a woman with none. So that is why you men need to choose single mothers. And I'm throwing both of my thumbs up as I'm saying this, like it's a commercial. This is crazy.
My lifetime. However, marriage is something that I know for a fact that
What do you
I
mean
could
you
be
haven't
married.
chose? What do you mean you haven't chosen to be married?
I haven't chosen to be married because it was not something that I was interested in for quite a while.
Has someone proposed to you?
Yes,
How many times have you been engaged? Have you been
I've
engaged
been yes, I've been engaged once.
to the person who you have your children?
No,
Okay. Was it after you had your children?
this was after I had my first child.
So your children are by different fathers?
Yes, my children are 16 and 4.
What? Silly wabbit. Silly wabbit. So at what point in time did the advantage come into play? Was it by the first man or by the second? But remind you, this is the person that's giving out advice and saying these things. Insane.
So they are by
Whoa,
two
whoa, whoa,
different
whoa,
fathers.
whoa, whoa,
Yes,
whoa, whoa,
12-year
whoa.
difference.
So see, so I'm gonna push back on you.
Go
You
ahead.
you're saying that what women need to do, but as a woman who came in saying the kind of things you're saying, the women are gonna say, then why can't you get it together?
Women will more than likely say that. However, I don't feel that I don't necessarily have it together. I feel that I'm at a point where I've been healing myself. And I've
Do you have
been
a
doing a
son?
lot
Do
of
you have a
self
son?
work. I
Do
have
you have
two sons.
are they involved with their fathers?
My youngest is involved with his father, yes.
But the oldest isn't?
But the oldest is not, which is none of my doing. I try to uh, foster that relationship, and
So
he
I
blew
gotta
it.
ask I gotta ask the elephant in the
Go
room.
ahead.
If you say marriage is nothing you've ever been interested in, then why are you a mother twice?
That's a very good question.
And yeah, it is, and
So,
that's what the question guys want me to ask. Because y'all come in here capping. I'm this and I'm that, and I'm not choosing to be married. I'm like, well then, but you chose to bring two lives into the world without choosing to not be married, knowing that puts children at a statistical disadvantage, and y'all proudly do this shit.
so what I will say is, my first child I had at an earlier age. My last child that I had, who was 4, that relationship ended
But you
abruptly in an assault. So that was
it ended
not
in an
technical
assault.
of me, where I almost, yes, where I almost lost my child. So that's why the
Okay,
relationship
all
ended.
right,
But it was, mhm,
but you weren't married before any of this stuff.
no, 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 no.
So even if we give you the first kid was young,
Mhm.
you waited 12 more years and then you did the same thing unmarried.
I
Why?
did not want to be married. I really
Why?
did not.
Why? 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 Please help us make sense of this because I can't understand. Men don't understand why y'all choose to be single mothers.
I'm I'm very big on self responsibility and accountability. So I would want to say that it was based on the way that I was brought up, but I will not use that excuse. I will actually say that that was not my mindset at that time, because I just thought that we can have a great relationship, have a child, and then all of
Did you
the
go to
other.
college?
I did.
Did you graduate?
I did.
Ma'am, this is backwards as all get out and go. We try to make sense out of chaos. A college educated black woman is sitting here saying that I didn't want to get married. And I don't, men just really don't understand. Y'all say this stuff like it's supposed to make sense. And just because y'all use a bunch of words,
Okay, so what I'll just honestly say to you is that at that time I was not in a space where I had been um, cultivating myself, working on myself,
then why make a
and
baby?
very
You can
great
have
question.
sex. You can have sex, but why the baby?
I, at that time, to just be honest with you, the person that I was dealing with, which is my child's father, he was he was really really great, and
He
I
wasn't your
want.
husband. These are just words.
Yeah, this is just word salad at this point, right? And what's even crazier is this woman right here. There's like a lot of them that sits there and think having a child is not as important as marriage. They have to go hand in hand. They have to go hand in hand. You can't look at marriage and say, well, the marriage is I'm too scared of that. That's too crazy. But a child, no problem. Let's just have the children. Come on.
You know how babies are made. You were
He was
27
not, but
years.
I did want to have a child. I
Why?
wanted
But
to have a child with him. I
you did
did.
this
I'm
purposely.
just being told it. Yes,
I
I
know,
did.
and we're trying.
Yes, yes.
And
I
okay,
went to him and
so
asked him if we can
so
have a
so
child,
if
and
you
we
want to get
decided to
married
do
in the
that.
future, you're looking for a stepfather who's going to accept that you were a young mother and then you chose to have a child purposefully. See,
Mhm.
this is why the reason your relationships don't work out don't matter to men. This is why, because it's like, well, you've chosen this path, and if somebody comes along, they gotta. Okay,
I
I
wouldn't
don't.
say that my relationships. I
Go
would
ahead.
not say that my relationships don't. I let me change that first. I wouldn't say that I am in question as to, oh my gosh, why don't these relationships work out? Or, oh my gosh, why
Then why
can't
don't they
I
work
find
out?
this particular
Why don't
caliber
they
man?
work out?
Um, I would say that they don't work out because oftentimes I don't want them to progress. Um,
Why?
I just really don't.
Why?
I would say more than likely just what would I say that I would not why they do not work out? If I could just give you just a straight answer,
Yes.
because it's my doing. It's my doing. I have found things, and it may be like a self sabotage type of
Have you had
situation.
therapy?
I have been through therapy, and I am currently in therapy. I am currently working on myself. I've done a lot of work on myself that I had not done 4 years ago. Um, yeah, I've done a lot of work that I
Okay.
had not
Okay.
done 4 years ago.
All right. So this is why it's hard for women to listen to women like you talk. You come in talking like what women should do and should do this and should do that, and I hear your spirit, but then we start getting into the selfishness of living your situation, and it totally undercuts everything you're saying, and it makes no sense to men. So do you think that there will be a point in the future where you will ever be a suitable candidate to be a wife of a man of value? He doesn't have to be high value, just a productive, competitive man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I definitely feel that. Just just alone, all the work that I've done on myself, all the work I've done on myself, all of the work that I've done with my children, to build my children up, um, to create a home, to create a lifestyle. I feel that I definitely have a lot to offer, and I've
What do you
been
have to offer to a man? What do you have to offer?
I have I have quite a bit. I'm kind. I am um I'm very conscious. I take responsibility of
Whoa,
my
whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
he's like, there you go. Now he's starting to lie. This woman does not take any responsibility or accountability at all. At all. And she's just using a whole bunch of words. Fellas, take notes. Women that are listening, take notes. Don't be like this. This woman is just using words for the sake of using them because they are things that you can use. She's going to use them.
Whoa, whoa. I challenge that one, man. I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
tell me how.
Go listen to your call. I'm going to need you ladies to not come in talking about what women should do. Stick to yourself because it's the only thing you can really talk about. I'm really trying to understand, and I'm going to look in the comments. I see everybody in the comment section. I see everybody in the call queue, and we're going to get there. But I'm really trying to understand, and I'm going to look at some of the ladies. Did anybody understand? Was I'm trying to understand why she. I don't think women really get that level of selfishness is unattractive. I just And the answer is women like her can go make babies because there's no consequence. There's no public shame. There's no nothing. She can go have children and then think that she can still be ready to ready for a man who's out here doing what he needs to do. And that's what my critics and detractors need to understand. The women y'all are asking men to go marry are incredibly selfish. For the most part, they are usually very selfish. Unmute yourself.
Hi,
Hold on before we do. How old are you?
I am 26.
Uh huh.
I did not think I was about to be on here.
Well, okay. Um, are you a critic or a detractor?
I'm a mixture of both.
Are you a single mother?
I am.
Okay. Have you been married?
No.
Do you want to be married?
Yes.
Why should a man marry you with your kid?
Because I feel like I have a lot to offer.
Oh, yeah, you got a kid.
I know I do.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to offer.
I know
What
I
else?
do. And I know it's a lot to expect another man, to take care of someone else's kid. But that's not necessarily all I'm looking for.
What do you mean that's not all you're looking for?
I'm not, when I'm looking for a partner, of course, I want someone who could obviously be a part of my child's life. But, her father's in her life, and I'm not expecting someone to obviously go full hands-on with the kid that's not theirs.
Okay.
But I guess my criticism is there's a lot of emphasis on women having children out of wedlock and having babies with these men.
Yep.
But why aren't we putting emphasis on the men?
Because I'm not. Because I'm not. Not this show. We've done that for too long. We're going to have a show where we talk about the women, and you're going to stick to the topic.
Okay. Hold on, baby. Okay. So basically my criticism is that, well, it's about men. That's the thing, is honestly about
That's
men.
the problem. That's all y'all ever got to say some shit about is what the men do. And what the one thing you haven't said is what you're looking for, but who are you and why should somebody care?
Because I feel like I'm a woman that I'm ready to submit.
Why didn't you submit to your baby daddy?
Because he didn't want to submit to me.
What? Shame, guilt, insults, they need to be right. This woman just sat there and said the reason why she didn't submit to her baby daddy is because her baby daddy didn't submit to her. And she has the child just running around the room. God bless the child. But she has the child running around the room. Can't even control the baby. Coming on this show talking about men. I mean, I hope he cooks right here. I hope he cooks.
And that's
You submitted to his seed. And he didn't want to submit to you. You're supposed to submit to him.
I did. He just wasn't ready for what I wanted.
Well, then why'd you have a baby? Why'd you see what y'all have to understand is when y'all decide to have a child for a man, that's it. You might as well be physically married to that man, because as far as the rest of the world, men look at you as free sex.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Too many single mothers have come on and said the same thing. And you're talking about he wasn't ready to submit to you. None of that would have married if you wouldn't have had none of that would have mattered if you wouldn't have had a baby.
And the thing is, you're right.
But you chose to have a baby.
But you chose.
So why should a man come be stepfather?
Because I feel as if a man, if he really cares about me, he would accept what comes with me. This
is what y'all wrote, telling women that they're the prize. I've asked multiple times, why should a man marry? Why should it? And it's all been about what a man should do for you. Not a goddamn thing out of your mouth other than I'm me. Why?
No, but I want to do right by a man. I want to submit to a man. I want to.
What do you bring to the table that's better than a woman with no children?
My heart. I have a
that is heart. Nothing.
So what is it that y'all want from a woman that has a child?
No children. We don't want you. They don't want me. Single. That's your problem. That's your problem. You should have married the baby daddy. That's your problem. Right there. That's your problem. What do you want? And when the men say what they want, I already got a kid. Your problem. Wait till your toddler's 18 years old and then get back out here and date. See how serious that is?
So I should be single until I'm 40?
You should have been married before you were a mother.
You're right. You're right.
That's the point. That's why that's old wisdom. Marry before you carry. Because when you get here, all the choices are bad. And y'all want good choices after bad decisions. It doesn't work.
That's a bar. That is a bar. Shout out to Kevin, man. Cooking up. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all want good choices and good decisions after y'all made bad choices and bad decisions. No.
And it ain't the men's fault.
So when he told me to have this baby and get me pregnant, it ain't his fault.
Nope.
Because I decided to go through with it.
Yep.
You're right. You're right. So I guess, okay, so I give my criticism. So basically, my question for you is what I can do, and you're basically telling me I should just be single. I ain't gonna
You
get
should
no
marry your
man to
child's
love me or
father.
my child.
Well, no, here's the thing. What you have to understand is the men out here who don't have children don't want to deal with a woman who couldn't submit to her baby daddy. They don't want to deal with baby daddy issues. They don't want to pay for another man's child. It's not even how human beings is. If we were still in the animal kingdom, a new man would come in and kill the cubs. That's not how we're wired. So instead of saying you should try to figure out how to stay in a man's good graces and have him accept your child. That's what I'm saying. You have a child, granted. The kid ain't going nowhere. You can't undo it, right? Then you as the mother need to make it to where a man would want to pick you over somebody else. That's your responsibility. It's chicken or the egg.
Of course. And that's what I'm asking.
And
So
you
what
need to
what
be,
am I supposed to do? I
well,
feel like anytime I come across a man, all they're interested in is just sleeping with me.
because you've already had a baby, and you have to accept that, man. You put yourself there, and you can't use that against men saying, well, all they want to look at me as a sex object, because you've already had a child. And men know they don't want to take on responsibility. Single mothers are free sex is what a lot of men think. I'm sorry, man. It's all in my comment section from single mothers. My question is, did you not know? Listen. Did you not know that having a child was going to lead to all these possible outcomes if you didn't marry the father?
I was warned, but I was so obsessed and in love with him at the time.
Thank
I
you.
thought that was going to
So
be
that
my
is
all.
but obsessed and in love. But one thing you did not say is you did not say I was married.
We weren't.
So you were selfish. You were worried about your obsession, your love, what you wanted. You had good counsel. Stop. Do not overtalk me. I'll drop this shit right now. You had good counsel and everything else, and you decided to do what you wanted to do. You had good counsel and you decided to do what you wanted to do. Right?
Yeah.
So now at 26, how old is your child?
She's 4.
You'll be looking for a stepfather. You have to go out into the market and realize that you can't demand what the childless version of you could. You have to do more than the childless version of you. You have to if you want a man on the same level.
So what's the more I should do?
Man, that's on you to figure out. You ain't paying me. I mean, you want, and I'll be honest, what you need is investment in yourself. That's the truth. Because now you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I'm just trying to get women to recognize don't marry before you don't have children out of wedlock, because this is what it puts you in. But for women like yourself, it's not a simple solution. It's complex. I don't know you. I don't know your child. I don't know your parenting situation. But I will say in this, your child needs, what do you need to do? You need to make your child an asset to a man. And you need to make your situation not a liability, to where you're an asset as well, to where you're the best choice out of all others. That sounds like a lot of work, don't it?
It is when you don't understand what is that more you're supposed to do.
Well, I'm sorry. And this is why you don't have kids out of wedlock, because none of the choices are easy. Somebody's supposed to come along and tell you as a grown-ass mother, here's how you make yourself better. See, you decided to get in the adult lane and become a parent. This is what you get.
So my question now is, you need to tell me that, because what seems like you're saying is there's not men out there that are willing to accept that about me and other women that have kids.
Sure.
Because you said from the beginning I should either make it work with my
daughter's
father.
Sure, but you can also win the lottery too. Is that a good investment strategy?
No.
Then why you want to ask me about the men out there that are willing to accept it? You've said it yourself. What are the men you're running into? They only want sex because you're a single mother.
And I look good.
Yeah, you look good for sex.
Yeah, and I know I want more than that. That's the thing.
Well, that's the problem. It's not about what you want. See, thank you. What you want is irrelevant. You got to give the buyer what they want. That's where you came in, starting up talking about what you want, what you want, what you want. That's what I've been saying over and over to my critics and detractors. You need to realize these women are incredibly selfish. That's all you
So
talk
you
about.
think have so you're saying women that have children out of wedlock are selfish?
I'm saying you're selfish. And most women that have children out of wedlock are selfish, yes. Because you
I
were
feel like
thinking about
selfish
you.
would have been not
You were
having the
thinking
baby.
about you. You had good counsel going into it. You knew better. You knew the statistics. You're educated. You know better. The internet exists. You guys can't act like you were young and dumb and didn't know better. But you did what you wanted to. That's selfish. You didn't make a baby because you wanted to be a family and go forward. You didn't do it the right way. It was
I
about
did want
you.
that, but I did it backwards.
Well, then,
I did want that. I did
well,
want to be
that
with.
was selfish. Then that wasn't it. And see, that's the thing. Accountability is like kryptonite. They don't want to say the words. Man, it was selfish.
I
Sorry.
can accept that. I can accept that, but I know my intentions, and it's kind of
Your
embarrassing to admit,
your
but
intentions don't matter.
I
The
thought
world
maybe
does not
having the
owe you
baby was gonna make
understanding.
him stay.
What?
I thought maybe having the baby would really like make him realize, okay, this is about to have my child. Let's
What?
make it work.
Listen what she said. She had an anchor baby. Thank
No,
you.
Wow.
not necessarily.
Yeah, you.
And then she's gonna say, wow, yeah, not necessarily. Come on. She just said it for the whole world to hear, and now she's trying to recant and double back on that statement. Like we didn't all just hear that. Again, this is a person that is controlling, a manipulator. And then when she doesn't get her way, or when she feels like the relationship is dying, she's gonna trap the man to have an anchor baby. Nice.
Did. I thought having a baby was going to make him stay. That's what you said. And guess what, ma'am? That's some selfish shit. Critics, detractors, where you at? Listen, I had a baby. I thought it would monkey want to stay. See, to my critics and detractors, y'all act like the men who don't want to marry these women are apprehensive. You act like the men don't have good reason. They listen, they are meeting these women in the world. They're hearing the words that are coming out of their mouths and choosing to not get with them. See, my critics and detractors seem to think the men are just scared. No, they're because you don't get on a plane with the wing hanging off does not make you scared. It makes you smart. At what point are the men being smart, critics? Because they can get out here, and unlike y'all's coupled up and married asses, they're out here in the real world. At what point do you listen to the men who are out here in the real world dealing with the real single mothers and they're making the real choices because they got real shit on the line? At what point do you listen to the consumer? At what point do you listen to the business person and say he's making a smart business decision? It would be unwise to partner with that person because it would be unwise to bring that on because it will sink your company. It would be unwise to get on that app, on that piece of transportation because it may not be a safe journey. Oh, that's right. We are all up in it. Anchor baby. That's why I said it. See, and she tried to clean it up. See, let him talk. The truth will come out. I had a baby on purpose. I had a baby on purpose. And you ain't caring about that kid.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But that's going to be the ending of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I must hear this. What do you guys think about this? Turn on post notifications if you guys haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video.